Mesopotamia, the birthplace of civilization. We'll learn about its ancient history from 3000 BC to the fall of Babylon in 539 BC. Let's go back in time. It's 3000 BC, and you are in Mesopotamia, located in the region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. You're witnessing the birth of civilization as we know it. This is where it all began. The first writing system, the first laws, the first great cities. Without ancient Mesopotamia, our world would be a very different place. They grew crops such as wheat and barley and raised livestock. Trade was conducted both locally and over long distances, with goods such as textiles, metalwork, and precious stones being exchanged. They developed a sexagesimal number system based on 60, which is still used today for time and angles. They also observed the movements of the planets and stars and created a lunar calendar based on the phases of the moon. Around 3000 BC, several city-states emerged along the river valleys. But the legacy of the Sumerians lived on through the Akkadians and subsequent civilizations, influencing their language, religion, and culture. He is best known for his law code, which was inscribed on a black stone stele and discovered in 1872 at Susa. This ancient piece of history is now known as the Code of Hammurabi. These city-states became powerful and wealthy due to trade and agriculture. It provided a framework for resolving disputes and maintaining order, contributing to the stability and prosperity of Mesopotamian civilizations. It's hard to imagine life without wheels, but it was too long ago that someone had the brilliant idea of putting a wheel on an axle to make moving objects easier. Its influence can be seen in subsequent legal codes throughout history, including the laws of the Medes and Persians and the Jewish legal tradition. Prior to the invention of the wheel, people relied on carrying their goods on their backs or dragging them on sleds. This was not only laborious and time-consuming, but also limited the amount of goods that could be moved, reflects the social norms and values of Babylonian society, and provides valuable insights into their way of life. They also developed advanced irrigation techniques, including the use of canals and water wheels, which helped to distribute water from the rivers to their fields. This innovation allowed them to grow crops in the arid climate of Mesopotamia and produce enough food to sustain large cities. Merchants could now move larger quantities of goods over longer distances, leading to increased economic activity and the growth of cities. They also made significant advances in geometry and algebra, which laid the foundation for future mathematical developments. They also developed a sophisticated system of weights and measures, which was essential for trade and commerce. The invention of the wheel also had a profound impact on warfare. As we look back on the ancient Sumerians, let's be inspired by their curiosity, creativity, and determination to understand the world around them. Let's strive to preserve their legacy and honor their contributions to human history. Their innovations allowed them to thrive in the fertile lands between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and their inventions spread to other cultures. We hope you've enjoyed learning about this fascinating civilization and its many accomplishments. If you want to continue exploring ancient history, be sure to check out our other videos. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an exciting episode. From the invention of the wheel to their advanced irrigation systems and mathematical knowledge, they were truly ahead of their time. Their innovations in mathematics, science, and technology laid the foundation for future civilizations. Their contributions to agriculture allowed for the growth of cities and the development of complex societies. And their advancements in writing and literature preserved their culture and knowledge for future generations. And their innovations continued to shape the world long after their civilization had fallen. Chariots pulled by horses or oxen became an important part of military strategy, allowing armies to move quickly and strike their enemies swiftly. This principle applied to cases of personal injury and property damage, ensuring that the punishment fit the crime. Their ideas and innovations spread to other cultures, influencing the development of ancient Egypt, the Indus Valley civilization, and beyond. The Sumerians were true pioneers, and their contributions to human history are immeasurable. Wheelbarrows were used for farming and construction, and wheels were incorporated into toys and other household items. The invention of the wheel is a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of the Sumerians, to simple yet effective innovation that had a profound impact on human history. For example, if a person was injured, the perpetrator would receive the same injury. If property was damaged, the perpetrator would have their property damaged in return. Religion played an important role in daily life, with temples serving as centers of community and economic activity. It established a set of clear and consistent rules that applied to all members of society, regardless of their social status. It also introduced the concept of due process, requiring that both sides of a case be heard before a judge or magistrate. They built massive structures called ziggurats, which were early forms of religious skyscrapers dedicated to their gods. These ziggurats often served as homes for priests and priestesses, and were also used for rituals and ceremonies. As the population grew, people had to work together for the common good, which led to the first organized government. Women were considered inferior to men and were subjected to strict legal and social restrictions. For example, a woman could only own property in her own right if she was a widow or a divorcee. She could also be punished more severely than a man for the same offense. However, it's important to note that these laws reflected the patriarchal norms of the time period and were not unique to Babylonian society. In 2700 BC, the Sumerians invented the first writing system, called cuneiform. It consisted of wedge-shaped marks impressed into clay tablets using a reed stylus. Initially used for record-keeping, it soon evolved into a full-fledged writing system, enabling the preservation of their culture, literature, and history for future generations. They believed that the king was chosen by the gods and responsible for maintaining order and justice. Below the king was a hierarchy of officials and priests who carried out government business and religious ceremonies. Sumerian society was highly structured with a king at its head. The economy of Sumer was based on agriculture and trade. In terms of culture, the Sumerians were polytheistic, believing in a pantheon of gods and goddesses who controlled various aspects of nature. The Sumerians also made significant contributions to mathematics and astronomy. However, by 2000 BC, the Sumerians were conquered by the Akkadians, marking the end of their civilization. Fast forward to 1800 BC, and we meet Hammurabi, the sixth king of the Babylonian Empire. The code consists of 282 laws and regulations covering a wide range of topics, including family law, property rights, business contracts, and criminal offenses. The Code of Hammurabi is particularly notable for its use of the eye for an eye principle, also known as the law of retaliation. While the Code of Hammurabi may seem harsh by modern standards, it was actually quite progressive for its time. One of the most controversial aspects of the Code of Hammurabi is its treatment of women. Despite its limitations, the Code of Hammurabi was an important step towards the development of law and justice. As we continue our journey through ancient Mesopotamia, we come across another fascinating invention, the wheel. The invention of the wheel is credited to the Sumerians around 3500 BC, and it revolutionized transportation and trade in Mesopotamia and beyond. However, with the introduction of wheeled vehicles, trade became faster and more efficient. But the wheel was not just used for transportation and warfare. It also had practical applications in everyday life. From the invention of the wheel to the development of sophisticated irrigation systems, the Sumerians were masters of adapting to their environment and harnessing natural resources for their benefit. For example, the Sumerians invented the plow, which allowed them to cultivate crops more efficiently and feed a growing population. Another area where the Sumerians excelled was mathematics. They developed a system of numbers based on 60, which is still used today for measuring time and angles. But the Sumerian innovations didn't stop there. They also invented the sailboat, which allowed them to transport goods and people more efficiently on the rivers and seas. The Sumerians were truly a remarkable civilization, and their innovations had a profound impact on the course of human history. As we wrap up our exploration of ancient Mesopotamia, let's take a moment to appreciate the lasting impact of the Sumerians. But the legacy of the Sumerians doesn't end there. And while much of their history has been lost to time, what remains is a testament to their brilliance and ingenuity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient Mesopotamia.